Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Hearing. I'm Brian Taylor, and today we have a startup company, Hi There Solutions, that has developed a really cool app that you can use for the deaf and hard of hearing. And here to discuss Hi There Solutions are the co-founders, John and Chase Prieve. Welcome to This Week in Hearing. It's great to have you with us.
Hey, thank you so much for the opportunity to be on. We are extremely excited. So thank you very much. My father, John, is my co-founder. My name's Chase Prieve, and we're with Hi There Solutions. Really excited for this opportunity. Anything you would like to answer?
No, thank you, Brian, for the opportunity. Great to be able to talk a little bit about our company, our mission, our why, the inspiration, our mobile app solution, our award-winning mobile app solution.
Yeah, I know. We want to hear all about it. And before we dive into the all the great things inside the app, maybe talk a little bit about yourselves and your motivation for founding this company.
You bet. So, Brian, my grandparents, Walter and Anna Prieve, that would be Chase's great-grandparents. Walter and Anna were both deaf, and Walter attended the Wisconsin School for the Deaf. This was over 100 years ago, and they were married. They had 5 children. My father, Richard Prieve, was the oldest of the 5. He had 4 sisters. And think about this. In the middle of the Great Depression, how hard it would have been for a hearing person to find employment, to find work, and be able to provide for their family. Well, Walter and Anna were both deaf, and they, in the Great Depression, just were not able to provide for their family. So they ended up actually putting all 5 children into foster homes up in Northwest Wisconsin. And sadly, the family never was able to come back together again. So there's a bit of our family history. Myself personally, about 1.5 years ago, I had a middle ear surgery for a cholesteatoma. The result of that is I have a severe hearing loss in my left ear, a moderate hearing loss in my right ear. I'm a bilateral hearing aid user, wearer, if you will. And just between those 2 pieces of family history, Walter and Anna, myself, that provides the mission, if you will, for Hi There Solutions. Now, the inspiration for our mobile app, I'll let Chase take that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we have a family history that's very deeply rooted. Myself personally, I have a friend. She was actually the first cochlear implant recipient west of the Mississippi River.
Wow.
She was born here. Yeah, it's crazy. She was born here and developed a very severe lung infection, was overprescribed antibiotics, and as a result, lost her hearing. And one day she was on vacation with her family down in Mexico, and they had a rental home, and she was trying to show me around. Like, oh, this is what the beach looks like.
FaceTime.
Yeah, using FaceTime. And unfortunately, it kept seizing up. It kept getting, hey, there's no video. And she reads lips. So, and unfortunately, the connection wasn't great. Wi-Fi, cellular, and we had to just end up hanging up the call. So I turned to my dad after we spoke, and I asked, why doesn't FaceTime have real-time accurate captions? And that's my personal connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Brian, the next morning, we founded Hi There Solutions.
We did.
Well, that's a pretty remarkable story. So you must have some type of technical background that allow you to do something so quickly. So tell us a little bit about your technical backgrounds.
Sure, absolutely. So I've got 8 years of sales experience and knowledge in the tech industry, and we're using a AWS, so Amazon Web Services provider called Mission Cloud, and we're also working with a company called Kiwi Tech. They're designing our user experience, and so I have a little bit of knowledge in APIs, integrating with, say, hearing aids, that sort of a thing. That's me personally. I don't want to speak for your background.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah. So Chase comes from the telecom, tech, AI, artificial intelligence type of background. which is terrific to help us with our front end and back end mobile app developers. Myself, I'm coming more from 30 plus years with startup companies. So I clearly understand what it takes in terms of market prep, market research, getting your product promoted, positioned, priced appropriately, et cetera. So we've spent the last 3 years actually from the initial idea of a failed FaceTime call all the way through today, where our mobile app with our 2 solutions is available within the Apple app and Google Play stores for download and subscription.
Yeah,
and we're available in 10 languages.
Wow, that's something to know.
Sorry, and American Sign Language sticker emojis. So if your viewers sign, we have that available as well.
Well, let's talk more about this app. I think it's really cool. I've checked it out myself, and tell us what is on the app. I think this is one of those kinds of apps that really everybody that has even a mild amount of hearing loss to deaf or a cochlear implant user can benefit from. So tell us more about the app and what you can get on it.
You bet. May we share our screen?
Yes.
Because we can put up a nice visual from
It's
our
good.
website.
We'd love to see the visual. That would be,
You
would be
bet.
really helpful.
So, and we have on the screen now one of our 2 solutions that is in the Hi There app. The first solution, and I'll take this one, and then I'll go to the second one, and Chase will cover off on the second solution. Our first solution is called Hi There. This is that inspiration where Chase had turned to his mom and me and said, why doesn't FaceTime, a video chat product, have real-time captions for the deaf and hard of hearing? So we've created that from scratch with our 2 mobile app developers. The first here is Hi There. It's a video chat. It has real-time captions, speech to text, instant messaging, and as Chase mentioned, animated American Sign Language sticker emojis, all within a video call. Now, many people understand that FaceTime is proprietary only to Apple users. So if you're an Android user, your smartphone is an Android, you're not able to make a FaceTime call and vice versa. So what we've created is an app that's what we call device agnostic. In other words, an Apple user can have a video chat, a Hi There call with an Android user and vice versa. So that's why we like to say making the Hi There call is super easy, anytime, anywhere, cellular or Wi-Fi between an iOS or an Apple and an Android device and back and forth. So that's Hi There. First in class, and with just terrific accuracy, all within a video chat call. Our second solution, I'll let Chase take this one, is Just Talk.
So the inspiration behind this was my friend who has a cochlear implant, her boyfriend at the time, he still is deaf, and he was trying to order something from Jamba Juice, and you can imagine how noisy it is in there with all the blenders and what have you. And he was unable to order. They couldn't understand him. He couldn't hear. Our friend had to order on his behalf. And thinking through that problem, if you would, and then you throw into the fact that there's, face mask, plexiglass, very hard to, communicate, especially if you're deaf, hard of hearing. So we created another solution called Just Talk, which is a chat board with real-time captions, speech to text, text to speech, ASL sticker emojis, and it's great for a 2-way conversation in a noisy and quiet place. I actually used it at a baseball game to order a hot dog, and it worked beautifully. And as you can see there, those are animated ASL sticker emojis. Anything else you'd like to add?
So this is a terrific product, Brian, where, as Chase mentioned, for not only noisy places, think of a Jamba Juice or an outdoor arena like a baseball game or noisy restaurant, Starbucks, but also quiet places. So think about deaf and hard of hearing individuals. They do the same thing that hearing people do. They go open a bank account, a checking account. They pick up prescriptions at the pharmacy. Right. They they're in a grocery store and they're trying to have an interaction, maybe a customer service. So both noisy and quiet places. This is a terrific text chat board solution. And at the end of the conversation, the individuals are able to delete that conversation, or just by exiting out of the solution, the conversation is deleted as well. We encrypt all our solutions from front end to back end, so privacy is very, very secure within our mobile app.
And we can differentiate between speakers, which is really cool.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that. How does it make that differentiation? I mean, is it different colors on the screen? How does it look?
Yeah, so we have a differentiation in Just Talk, and I'll go back to Hi There for just a second at the end. But with Just Talk, you can see we have color differentiated one speaker from a second speaker. We have also included the ASL sticker emojis. What is very, very cool is that an individual can just simply tap this Just Talk microphone down here in order to activate the microphone on their smartphone. And the microphones on smartphones, as we went through our beta testing for both Android and Apple devices, my goodness, they are state of the art. The microphones are just terrific technology. One example, last October, it was my birthday. We're up in Boulder, Colorado, at my favorite Italian restaurant.
You were there 14 years.
And the waiter's got a mask on. It's a busy, noisy restaurant. And we were in beta testing. So Chase had Just Talk pulled up to do just that, beta test. And the waiter who's standing with his mask on, taking the order, maybe standing 5 or 6 feet away, Chase is placing the order. The waiter was reading it back to him, and it was 99.9% perfectly accurate, that conversation between the two speakers.
In English alone.
And that was just in English. Again, we have 9 other languages that can be transcribed, if you will, within our Just Talk solution. Jumping quickly back to Hi There, this is so cool. We differentiate, between the two different speakers, and we use, I've got my mouse pointing to it, just the identifier that contact it has. Our beta testing examples here are Paul up in the upper right-hand corner, and this is his friend Noah. So we have an N and a P in order to differentiate between the two persons who happen to be speaking, and their speech has been transcribed. So really, really terrific in terms of being able to differentiate between the two different speakers. The text in the case of a Hi There call just simply scrolls up, so that at any point in time, a customer can simply use their finger and pull down and be able to go back to what someone may have said in an earlier part of that conversation. But again, at the end of the call, everything is deleted, it's encrypted. These are private conversations that no one is reading, or no one else is saving, or anything like that on the back end.
Yeah, and what's cool. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
Oh, yeah. What's really cool about the Hi There solution and Just Talk is that our artificial intelligence, machine learning, pardon me, and natural language processing, it can now autocorrect itself. And it's available, in 10 languages, real time, closed captioning. If you use a competitor, you have to send out a meeting invite with us. No, just pick up your phone and hi there, someone. It's super cool what we're able to accomplish.
I love that. That's I think it's a real game changer for a lot of people in practice. So all you hearing care professionals out there, imagine the number of patients that you see, everywhere from mild hearing loss to severe profound, that struggle in places that are acoustically challenging, either because the voices are too soft or because there's too much noise. Now you can recommend to them a portable, real-time closed captioning device that works right along with their smartphone. All they have to do is download the app. And that brings me to this is a subscription model, right? So maybe just talk a little bit about how people can access your app.
You bet. Thank you for that. And Brian, we are following a subscription model. currently, at launch, and we'd like to change this over time, but just to get established in the marketplace, what we created were 2 different pricing plans and then a top-up for people that want to buy additional video, chat, and text message, instant messaging minutes, if you will. So we have a basic plan, and we designed this for individuals who just want hi there, the video chat call. And you're probably wondering, well, why wouldn't you have both all in one? Well, we have that with premium, but Brian, we know this. In our market research, we learned that 90% of the deaf are actually born to hearing parents or have hearing families around them. So we know that, for example, deaf individuals would certainly want to use the premium plan and have hi there and just talk, whereas maybe their family or friends who are hearing and want to have a video chat call and be able to have their deaf or hard of hearing friend have captions. So we just have the basic plan where those individuals would just use the hi there solution. We've priced these very, very reasonably. For example, the basic plan of just hi there only, even though it's an upfront charge of $23.99 at a tier 1 level, Brian, that equates to the cost of a candy bar bought at a gas station once a month. So again, very reasonable.
Right.
The premium plan, yes, there's an upfront charge for tier 1 of $71.99. It's an annual charge, an annual subscription. However, when you break it down to monthly, that's the cost of a grande iced cafe latte with extra whipped cream once a month. I mean, that's how reasonable we've priced our products in terms of being able to be inclusive, provide another accessibility accommodation for the deaf and hard of hearing and their family and friends. So no one ever misses a word.
That's great. I would think also that some hearing care professionals out there might want to bundle this subscription into the purchase of hearing aids and service package for people that want comprehensive care along with devices they might purchase. So all kinds of opportunities out there. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you can be contacted, where people can find more information about this?
Yeah.
Come back here to our home screen, and Brian, we will provide this, so you can put it in the links below. We have a terrific website, hitheresolutions.com. Here's our front page, if you will, and tells a little bit about the products. It's got both Hi There and Just Talk beautifully displayed here in the middle. We've got a button you can press to learn more. It will take you out to our YouTube channel in order to learn a little bit more about us. We put user or customer videos in there, and of course we're also accessible on all the major platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and then of course you can see we're both available on Apple and Google Play stores.
That's right. And then our website is available in different languages as well. So if you have viewers that maybe speak Spanish, Portuguese, French, hey, we're available as well. We're all about inclusivity and accessibility. That's what we think and believe. That's our mission.
That's great. That's great to hear. And I love your logo. I love the Hi There logo there. Man, great. Well, I want to thank you for your time, John and Chase Prieve, co-founders of Hi There Solutions. Really cool app for the deaf and hard of hearing. Thanks for your time. Great to have you on our broadcast.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, Brian.
You're welcome.